Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this is a new series. This is the second one called Mail Monday, and I might end up doing these more than once a week if after Commentary March Madness ends, or we're calling it Commentary Madness now because a lot of the foreign guys don't know that March Madness runs into April as well. But anyway, after Commentary Madness ends, we're going to probably do this a little more often, maybe twice a week. But I get the coolest mail, and I thought I would share some of it with you guys, so check this out. The first message that caught my attention was this one. The subject was, I used your dance move. Hey Woody, I realize there's a good chance you won't read this, but I just wanted to let you know that I used your dance move from the girlfriend video, the first one, at my school dance last night, and I was a total chick magnet. Well, this comes as no surprise to me, quite frankly. When it comes to dancing advice, WoodysGamertag is really your go-to resource, and yeah, if you have any questions about how to groove on the dance floor, rap music, things like that, then I'm your man, and you really can't find a higher authority on these sort of things. So I'm glad I could help. Yeah, I'm just kidding, but I think it's funny that he was ballsy enough to work my ridiculous dance moves. I have another email that there's a little more serious, so let's take a look at that one. Woody, I'm a huge fan of your videos and usually offer some guidance to people who need help, so here's my problem. I'm 13 years old and my parents are getting a divorce. They said that I can choose who I live with, but if I pick one parent, the other will resent me. My parents are on two ends of the spectrum because my dad is very loose and easygoing and my mom is very strict. So I'm debating as to whether I should pick my dad because he would be the fun parent, or if I should pick my mom because I would get more stability in life. Also, my mom is moving back to Canada, and back to Canada to me implies that's where he's from. And dad is staying in Hong Kong for his job. So if I pick a parent, I wouldn't be able to see the other. P.S. I'm sorry for having such a long message, but it would mean a lot to me if you could bring this up in a video or your next podcast. All right, so this is a heavy one. The first thing I wanted to put out there is that I wanted to cover this thing of if you pick one, then the other one's going to resent you. That's not how this goes down, right? Your parents are grown-ups, and if you pick one, the other one's going to love you very much, and the other one's going to miss you, and that's what's going to go down. They're not going to say, "Oh my gosh, I'm mad at my son, mad at my kid for not picking me." That's never the case. They'll just, miss you, especially in a case like this where the two parents are moving on other parts of the planet. That it's a rough situation. It's a bummer that you're there, but it is what it is, and you need to remember that even though you've kind of assigned yourself this job, it's not your job to make sure that your parents aren't lonely. It's not your job to make sure that your parents are emotionally healthy. You're the kid, right? It's your parents' job to provide that for you. That's one of the things they sign up for when they decide to be parents. And so anyway, I wish there was something I could say that I knew would really prevent you from having this heartache anymore, from worrying about your parents' feelings. The fact that you're weighing your parents' feelings so heavily in this decision tells me that you're probably a pretty good guy. I assume you're a guy because you watch my videos. But yeah, so anyway, don't you worry about your parents' emotional health. You can worry about your emotional health. That's one of the things about being a kid. That's your job. The other thing, let's talk about picking parents. And wow, this is kind of heavy advice. And I am a YouTube commentator. It makes me wonder if I'm qualified, but I will do my best. All right. So one of the primary things I would look for when I was picking my parent is which one meets your needs better, right? So you're going to have a bunch of needs throughout your time, especially when you're 13 years old. This is some prime parenting testing ground that you're headed into. And you need to figure out which one is going to give you better counseling when you make a mistake or when you need some advice. And not just that girl advice, but also that other life advice. How do you deal with your guy friends? How do you manage your way through high school? How do you balance sports and academics and friends and all those things? Which parent is going to be the one that sits with you, spends the time with you, understands your needs and concerns, and works through these issues with you? That is the parent that I think I would pick. The one that, I guess the one that just isn't naturally that counselor, the one that isn't naturally, the one who gives you advice, the one who listens to your problems, the one who keeps in touch. To ask yourself which parents would likely name your teachers or the people that you sit with at lunch. And that might be the one that is your better choice for to live with. And in your case, you have an additional thing in that you have this Hong Kong, Canada business. And I would probably consider that in the spectrum too. I'm going to make a guess here that you're a Canadian living in Hong Kong. And, if that presents a lot of problems for you, if you're not able to get, the childhood that you wish you had, because of that, then, that might be something that I weighed into my decision making. And, picking a parent is seriously heavy stuff, but those are the sorts of things that I would be looking at. And, I hope that offered, some kind of guidance or advice. I wouldn't base it on which one is more strict, although I know that that's probably paramount in your mind, because you're 13 and you value your freedom so much. But, it's not really based on who's the strict one. It's based on, which one you think can provide better parenting, counseling, advice, etc. That's what this is all about. Another thing I wanted to talk about with you, since I have you on the line, for lack of a better term, is I guess dealing with the parents' divorce. A lot of kids. Well, here's what I want to say. I wouldn't pick sides. Especially if your parents both seem more or less civilized. If one of them's a raging alcoholic, then you might be able to pick sides fairly accurately. But in the more common case, where the two parents just start fighting a little more often, maybe one of them started looking outside the marriage for the affection that they needed. I think that you, as the 13-year-old, I wouldn't pick sides in a case like that at all. Just be supportive to both of them. You may not have all the facts, and you probably will sometime in your 20s. But at this point, you probably don't. And so the parent that does a better job of not placing blame on the other one may be the parent that looks better in your eyes, right? So if the dad details everything mom does wrong, and then mom, does her best to make sure that dad doesn't look bad in your eyes, then, if that situation plays out, then you don't have all the facts that you need to decide which parent is at blame here. And like I said, unless there's something completely obvious, like, a wife beating issue or, a drug abuse issue or something like that, then, I wouldn't get into the business of figuring out which parent is the good one and which parent is the bad one. I wouldn't let that be part of your decision-making process, and I wouldn't even let that problem enter your mind. I would just focus on which parent can be a better parent to you. So there you have it. I hope that I've done this email some justice. It's a really big one. I'm 16 here in the UK, and that is the legal age for sex. I have already lost my virginity, but it's my current girlfriend who I need to discuss about. I realize from just reading this short paragraph you may getting the wrong impression, though. I really care for her, and to be honest, I'm getting emotions I've never felt before. Could it be love? We have discussed about having sex, and she believes she is ready, and I trust her with the decision, but how can I make it special for her? Almost, how can I woo her into the most memorable nights of her life? I come to you for help because this is very personal, not only for me, but more for her, and I respect that. And I'm wondering if you would have any suggestions or tips for me. All right, so let's start off by pretending that you're 18 or 20 or 40 or something like that, just so I don't have to deal with the whole 16-year-olds and sex issue. One of the first things I want to call out is, for heaven's sakes, make sure she's willing. And for you, this seems to be not an issue at all. You're openly discussing it with her. You're working it out. But, for many people in this age range, their plan is to almost get someone to do something they'd regret, right? Whether that something is, involves a lot of drinking or who knows what, but, your plan on this thing should not be to trick her into doing this, which I see is not the guy you are, but I'm sending out this as more of a broader piece of advice. The other thing, that I think makes a special first time is, just make sure you've got some time. Make sure that, it should be in a bed, right? It shouldn't be in a car. It shouldn't be in the back of a pickup truck or anything ridiculous like that. But, make sure that you're not going to be intruded upon, or that you don't even have any fear of being intruded upon. And take it slow. Make sure that that you guys are all on the same page, that everyone agrees with what you're doing, and make it go easy. All right, and I'm going to step outside the normal topics of my channel and talk about the act itself a little bit. This is her first time. As far as the big O goes, the actual the best part of the whole deal, this is her first time. That is going to be the domain of the guy. That's the deal. Don't expect her. You mentioned something about her, it being the night of her life, or night to remember, and I wasn't sure if by that you had some expectation that she was going to climax. I would remove that expectation. Not on her first time. Don't even put that pressure on her. Just let it rock. That's not the goal in this thing. Protection. Oh my goodness. By all means, use protection. The condom is nice, not only in terms of like the cleanup afterwards, but the condom itself provides some amount of lube, and it makes sure everything is cool. Nice game, huh? Wasn't that nice? And then the last thing was lube. Right? She may be scared. She might not be as physically ready as she will be down the line. So it might be a smart idea, to use that on her first time. Make it easy for her, and that's just one less thing you have to worry about. So so there you have it. Those are 3 letters from Mail Monday. I hope that you guys like this. Give me some feedback on the series. Provide your own advice for these guys. And until next time, that was Mail Monday.